What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. My name is Trevor Steele with Backcountry PPG, and in today's video, I want to talk about some of the changes from going from sea level to 5,000 feet higher or lower.
I'm just happy to be alive today.
Some of the things that you will notice as you go from high altitudes to low altitudes is, firstly, your prop is going to make more thrust. So when you're at 5,000 feet and you mash full throttle, you come down here to minus 200 feet and you mash full throttle. It's going to be two very different experiences. The prop is going to produce more thrust because the air at sea level is thicker than the air at 5,000 feet. The next thing that you're going to notice is that your wing is going to produce more lift. That same concept, the air being thicker down at sea level than it is at 5,000 feet, means your wing is going to produce more lift. So your takeoff distance is going to be shorter, partly because you have more thrust, partly because you have more lift from your wing. Your climb rate is going to be better, again, partly because you have more thrust, partly because you have more lift. Your efficiency is going to be better. Technically, you're going to burn less fuel. Again, more thrust, more lift. Your landing set down is going to be slightly softer. And the one thing that really catches people off guard is your roll rate is going to be less. Your roll rate at sea level and your roll rate at 5,000 feet is different. The same wing is going to roll harder and faster at 5,000 than it is at sea level. And that is, again, because of the thickness of the air. Now, this really throws people off. And this is one thing that we do slightly different that I'll talk about here in a second. You get somebody who's used to either A, a roll rate here at sea level, or B, a roll rate there, and you swap, and things get a little squirrely. Because the guy that's used to the roll rate in Utah that comes down to sea level is going to have less roll. It's going to turn slower. And so when they go to do the normal maneuvers that they're used to, they pull the normal amount of brake, things are different. It doesn't roll as fast. It doesn't maneuver as fast. And people can find themselves in a tricky situation unintentionally. So anytime someone comes from 5,000 to sea level, I have them slow everything down. Go back to the basics, build up slowly to where you were, because things are different. And vice versa. If you're used to sea level and you go to 5,000 feet, your wing's gonna roll so much faster. So same concept. Start slow, go back to basics, build back to where you were. Now, one of the things that I mentioned earlier that we do differently at 5,000 feet is we actually upsize our wings. We also upsize our motors, which people do at sea level too. Starting with the motors, we almost religiously fly the bigger cages with 140 propellers. That is because in some way we are compensating with the thinner air by having a larger propeller. A 140 propeller makes more thrust than a comparable 125 propeller, even with an identical engine. So we compensate with less thrust by spinning a larger prop. Almost all of our training units here at Backcountry PPG are the big cages spinning big propellers for that reason. We also upsize wings. So if you would typically fly, as an example, a 18 meter at sea level, I would upsize you to something like a 20 or even possibly a 22 meter at 5,000 feet. We upsize roughly 2 meters every 3,000 to 5,000 feet. So if you're at 10,000 feet, we would upsize an additional 2 meters of fabric than we would at 5,000, then we would at 2,000, then we would at sea level. So things change and we upsize the wings. Now, partly the reason we do that is because a 20 at 5,000 is going to fly the same as an 18 at sea level. But also an 18 at 5,000 would just be so screaming fast. Your launches would be long, they'd be really, really fast. Your landings would be fast and harder. Your climb rate would be worse, your efficiency would be worse. So just in general, we kind of upsize everything. Another little thing that we do at 5,000 feet is we also almost religiously fly the thin fabric, lightweight material wings. Primarily ozone. Ozone's our favorite brand. It fits our lifestyle, our ecosystem, our environment in Utah better than the other brands because of ozone's launching characteristics. We have that lightweight fabric that inflates easy and stays above your head. When you're trying to inflate a glider at 5,000 feet, that air is really thin. Getting that wing up above your head is incredibly difficult. You've got to run faster, go farther, and some of the heavier wings, it's almost not doable. It's uncomfortable. It is definitely possible. It's just uncomfortable. And in the world of new pilots, we try to do everything as easy as possible. The easiest wing to launch, easiest paramotor to use, obviously no sacrifice to safety, but trying to have things as easy as possible. And that's largely one of the reasons we love Ozone. Ozone fits that category of wings just across the board, and really so with their Spider 3 for easy launches, easy inflations, easy flights, which is why we here at Backcountry PPG are dealers for Ozone and would love to help you with your next Ozone wing. So to bring it full circle, those are some of the differences you're going to see at altitude versus at sea level, and some of the little things that we do to compensate for 5,000 feet of altitude versus sea level. I hope you found this video useful. My name is Trevor Steele. I appreciate you watching. Hit the like button, subscribe button. If you're interested in an Ozone paramotor wing or a paramotor in general or training, visit backcountryppg.com, and I will see you all next time.